You know, I just found out that Angelina Jolie has now become Dame Angelina Jolie, and I just gotta say that's really weird. Maleficent. Alright, so Maleficent stars Angelina Jolie, or Dame Angelina Jolie, Angelina Jolie, as the title character. Now, Maleficent is basically the story point of view, is basically the story of Sleeping Beauty told through Maleficent's point of view. You know, it's kind of really cool. You've never really seen that, which has never really been done before. So, and basically, this is the plot. Now, Maleficent is a little girl who is just, you know, very carefree, loves her land, everybody loves her, the fairies love her, the creatures love her, everybody loves her. Pretty much she isn't the little bitch that she was in the 1959 version of Sleeping Beauty. So, anyway, after that, she meets this young boy by the name of Stefan, who is, you know, they just click instantly, and then a few years go by, a couple guys, you know, go and invade her land, and then, you know, she kind of pisses them off, and so then they won. They have to send somebody to hunt her down and kill her. But the guy they send, or the guy who at least volunteers, is Stefan. So then what happens is Stefan goes, but what he does is he goes to warn her that she is in for a big disaster. So then he goes, but all he really does is drug her and then steal her wings, which she thinks is a sign of betrayal, but really all he was doing was just trying to protect her. So then another couple years go by, and Stefan is now King Stefan, and he now has a daughter by the name of Aurora, who we all know will soon to be Sleeping Beauty. And then, and so Maleficent, word gets back to Maleficent, by this new bird that she's converted into a human, which she's done since, you know, since she's lost her wings, because now she's gotten so clinically depressed and really bitchy. And so basically, she sends this bird to send out all the message, find out all the things. She finds out he's king, which pisses her off. She finds out he has a daughter, which even pisses her even off more. And then she goes off. She does what we all know. She puts a charm on the spinning wheel, and then puts a curse on Aurora, to that way on her 16th birthday she touches the prick of it, and then she'll fall into a sleep like death. And then a few years go by again. Aurora's sent by a couple of fairies, well, to watch over her, one of which is played by Imelda Staunton, who you all remember as the bitch Professor Umbridge in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, is sent to protect her. A few years go by, she turns 16, and then she finds Maleficent, and then she finds out that she thinks it's her fairy godmother, which is a reference to the wrong fairy tale, but anyway, you know, that's all the plot I'll give away, and so now we have our movie. So anyway, that's all the plot I'll give away, so let me just talk about what I liked about the film. I actually, unlike, you know, for a lot of people, now I looked up this movie right after I saw it. I looked it up on Rotten Tomatoes. It doesn't have a good rating, but I gotta say, I actually liked this movie. I was a little I was a little bit iffy on it because, you know, but I've heard a lot of stuff about this film since you know, about 2 years ago when the film started production, which is very unusual. Now, one of the things I like about the film is Angelina Jolie. I think she does a wonderful Maleficent, you know, and not because some people think she's a bit of a bitch, which I don't think. I just think she's an actress. That's it. But I think she does a wonderful Maleficent. I think she is brilliant in the role. and she just has that commanding presence when she comes in, especially when when she comes into that room, you know that Stefan's fucked. Please excuse my poor language. But basically, I just love what she does in the role. And another person I liked was Aurora, was the actress who played Aurora. I don't know her name, but she was the girl. I might get this wrong, but she was the girl who was in Super 8. I don't know. I might confuse actresses because there's like several actresses I know that look alike, just like her. But from what I've gathered, I think she was that girl in Super 8, and I know for a fact she was in We Bought a Zoo. I'm pretty sure that was her. So yeah, and another thing I like, and this is I think the best thing in the film, but at the same time, it's also one of the bummed out things because they don't nearly get enough screen time, is Imelda Staunton and the two other witches. I don't know the other actress's name, but Imelda Staunton as one of the fairies to watch over Aurora. I love them. They are so much fun to watch, and I love Imelda Staunton. She played. I know her playing two bitchy teachers, Professor Umbridge in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, and that I don't know if she was she a librarian? I don't know, but she was that other teacher from Freedom Writers. She is fun to watch. She is hilarious, and it's all good. It's fun, and I'm a little bummed out because she didn't get enough screen time, in my opinion. She didn't get enough screen time. So there's that, and some of the things I didn't like about the film. King Stefan and the relationship between King Stefan and Maleficent, I felt what happens in the end, I don't want to give it away, but what happens in the end just doesn't justify the whole thing. It doesn't justify the story in any way, because it's not resolved properly. It's done out pretty sloppily. They try to make it out like he's going paranoid each and every time because Maleficent cursed his daughter, and so he has to go like, oh my god, but I mean, when his daughter's finally, because we all know the story, his daughter does wake up, and he finds Maleficent. It's not justified in any way. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about, because I don't feel it's justified in any way. I don't feel like they resolved they don't. It's hard to really complain about that without really giving away any spoilers, which is what I don't want to do for this review. I think I've given enough by summarizing the plot. So yeah, but that's basically the one thing, and that's kind of what kicks the movie off. You think that there's going to be something at the end, there really isn't. You know, especially with the relationship they're supposed to have in the childhood. You think something's supposed to come up about it, but there really isn't. Now, the one thing I do have to say, this is not exactly, not to give anything away, but this will not, there's going to be some differences between the actual story. There are going to be a lot of things that will deviate from the original story of Sleeping Beauty. Which might put some people off, but if you're really into creativity like I am, I think you might like that. That whole King Stefan thing just didn't work for me. Or at least I saw where it was going and it just didn't go in that direction. It just go into the villain, the hero. I'm not gonna say who's who. But yeah, there was that, and you know, I mean, that's what it is. So, another problem I kind of have with the movie is that it's a little too short. I was expecting walking in, guessing about how long. I mean, Alice in Wonderland was a good 2 hours. Oz the Great and Powerful was a good 2 hours. This felt like 90 minutes or less. This was a short movie. I mean, I went to go see it with my brother Johnny and two friends of mine, and when we walked out of there, me and Johnny were just like, and our mom picked us up. You know, my mom was just like, that was not a long movie. I was expecting to pick you up at because when we got out, I don't even think, because we saw the 2 o'clock showing, I don't even think it was even like 4 when we got out of that theater, because it was maybe it was fast paced. I haven't looked up the runtime, but I mean it was a short movie. I mean the thing is about Alice in Wonderland is Alice in Wonderland had a slow pace, and I saw that when I was about 10, and Ozzy and Powerful didn't have a slow pace. It was just paced correctly and it had the correct runtime. This film really should have been longer than it was supposed to be, or at least maybe it's because I think the thing is maybe Sleeping Beauty is a story that's very simple. In some cases, the third act is the one that has the biggest structure, you know. But that's my only gripe. That's one other gripe I have. But that's just, I mean, most people have a problem with films being too long. I have problems when films are a little too short. That's my problem with most movies, which, you know, might make people a little bit Doni. A lot of people like that, but you know, that's all right. So I think that's pretty much all I can say about it. That I will go off to say Maleficent is a good movie. I highly recommend you guys going seeing it. It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie, and you know, yeah. So my rating. Now the plot is great. The story's good. There is one thing about the film I really don't think is, I don't feel had been justified. And so, you know, so I'm going to give the film a 8.5 out of 10. It's a fun movie. It's fun to watch. You know, Angelina Jolie is great with the role. The girl who plays Aurora, she's cool. And but I felt the King Stephen thing wasn't resolved the way I wanted it to be, and the film was a little too short. So, oh, and Imelda Staunton and the fairies. Sorry, fairies. The fairies did not get nearly enough screen time. So yeah, so I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10. So yeah, so I think, but however, I do like what Disney's done with this. I really think that telling a fairy tale through the villain's point of view is really good. They should do it with Little Mermaid, Ursula. I really would like to see that. That would be awesome. So you know, maybe not so much with Cinderella, because if I want to see a movie about a bitch stepmother, I watch Moby Dearest. Joan Crawford, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, that's all I can say about that. They should do more of those. So yeah, Maleficent gets an 8.5 out of 10. And yeah, so I'm Doni Banerjee. And this is Doni Banerjee of Doni Reviews. Signing off. See you around.